Hello and welcome. Welcome to another episode of Lunch with Lisa. I'm Lisa Warner, and I am the author of The Simplicity of Self-Healing and creator of Aligning with Your Radiantly Healthy Self, a course that helps you bring yourself into alignment with your healthiest, happiest, best self, because that's where the healing happens. So welcome everyone. Today is December 22nd, 2022, a 12/22/22 number. It is a powerful day after the solstice. We have a lot of new energy, new light coming into the planet. And there are many, many opportunities for change that are available now. This light is coming in to help us upgrade ourselves, to help us to turn our own lights back on, to amplify the light of our own awareness, to start helping us to be the very best versions of ourselves. So today I wanted to talk about sleep. There's a lot of people that I talk to tell me that they can't sleep, that they don't ever get a very good night's sleep. So last night while I was awake, I was awake getting downloads of information, but at the same time, I didn't really need to sleep because I was resting. I was allowing my body to be fully at rest, at peace. And that way, all the information could just flow in, and I could be up for much of the night, but I'm not tired. I don't have lack of energy. I'm fully rested. And it occurred to me when I was thinking about this last night that many people don't know how to rest. They think that they have to sleep in order to rest. But much of the time when we're sleeping, we're not really resting. It's just a fitful night's sleep or a restless night's sleep, meaning full of fits, full of energetic charges, or restless, lacking in rest. So why are we lacking in rest? Why are we not able to rest? And the answer to that is in the looking at energy. We've all heard it said that everything is energy, but we've never really been told what that means. And for one reason or another, I'm able to see energy. I'm able to see electromagnetic energy. I'm able to see the flow of energy, how energy works. Because when you can see the flow of energy, you can see your future because you can see the flow that you're in or the flow that you want to be in, but you're not in. We're always we're pretty much always in the flow of energy. We're either flowing toward the things that we desire or we're flowing away from the things we desire. And when we're flowing away from the things that we desire, we're being flowed away. We're not choosing our course. So somebody else is choosing the path for us. So just simply means many, many people have walked very similar paths. So if we've gotten onto a path that's already well worn, that energy is flowing in a very specific direction. And when we get on that path, we can see where it leads because we've seen all the people before us that have taken the same path. But we can actually choose which path we want to be on. We can be on the road to ruin, but we can also be on the path to our greatest selves, our happiest selves. We can choose the path that we're on. And one of the things is that when we're in the flow of energy, if we're really just in the flow, it's like we're on our own raft. our own vessel, and that vessel is just all around us. And the vessel is just the vessel. The raft is just the raft. The river moves the raft. The raft doesn't move itself. The raft just stays still, and the river moves the raft. So that's like being in the flow. When you're just guiding your raft down the river, you're just in the flow. But if you don't realize that you're guiding your raft down the river, you can get stuck on the rocks really easily. When you get stuck on the rocks, it feels like, it feels like, a train wreck. It feels like a disaster. It feels like disease. It feels like a trauma. It feels like a drama. It feels like anxiety. All these different ways of getting stuck on the rocks. But when we learn how to rest, we can build our own raft. And then we can get in the flow that we want to be in because we can guide our raft. But if we're never resting, if we're constantly being pulled down the river, pulled and pushed by a stream of nervousness, anxiety, worry, doubt, fear, shame, blame, guilt, all of these negative energies, if we're in those flows, it always feels like we're being pulled, just pulled in some direction. And the mind, as long as we're being pulled, the mind is going to be going. Okay. Because that pull is energy in motion, energy in motion, emotion, energy in motion. Fear, doubt, shame, blame, those are energies in motion, and they're charged energies. And when we're in those energies, in those charges, feeling the current dragging us, pushing us, pulling us, then there are thoughts that are going with those emotions all the time, constantly being pulled. We're either trying to avoid being pulled in that direction, or we're running, kicking, and screaming in that direction. But when we can rest, when we can stop the flow, and we can simply breathe, and we can call our attention to our own energy and have our energy stop. Just literally command it to stop, to come to rest. Allowing your vehicle to rest. When the energy stops moving and you consciously rest, meaning staying in one spot for a moment, you can feel the peace, you can feel the ease, you can feel the relaxation. And when you're in that space of rest, your body can regenerate and rejuvenate itself. You can bring yourself back into balance. You can actually rest your body. And perhaps you can also get some sleep. But sleeping and resting, like we talked about earlier, they're not necessarily the same thing. But when you can rest consciously on demand, when you can bring yourself into a state of rest, you can discover the rest of yourself. Because there is far more to you than meets the eye. But when we're being pulled and pushed by life, and we're constantly in the mind, we're only noticing what's going on in our immediate vicinity, in the physical realm. We're not noticing the rest of ourselves, the higher self, the soul, the part that is source itself, the part that has all the answers. the part of us that always feels good because it can, because we have choice. We have the ability to feel good at all times simply by feeling it, choosing it. And when you choose to bring yourself into a state of rest, and all your molecules kind of, they slow down, they take a pause for a moment, and you start to regroup, and you start to smooth out all the movement in your energy field, all the wobbles that show up in our lives as little inconveniences or inconsistencies or unwanted things. That's all from the energy wobbles that are in our energy field, from being pulled in these currents of energy. Have you seen on recently there have been pictures on Facebook going around, some little videos going around of animals just walking in perpetual circles, like herds of sheep just walking in a circle, or there were like three big birds, I can't remember, like turkeys or something, that were running around a tree, just one right after the other, around and around and around and around the tree. Well, the reason they're going around and around and around is because the energy, just like water, when water flows and a vortex is created, a whirlpool in the water, the energy has whirlpools in it too. And these animals they're being pushed and pulled by a stream of energy. They're receiving a message to walk in this direction. It feels like they're following inner guidance, walking around in this, but they're actually following the energy pattern. So the same thing happens to us. Energy patterns are patterns of energy that have already been set up, that we just simply follow because that's the way it is. That's just what you do. It doesn't have to be what we do. We can choose something completely different. But we can't when we're unaware that we're following the energy, that the energy is literally moving us. Energy is prompting us to go do things. Pay your taxes, ask your doctor, is this pill right for you? Right? All of these thought patterns, these are flows of energy that many, many, many people walk these flows of energy as if those are the only options. They're not the only options. We're grand creator beings. We can create anything we desire. But in order to be able to get in this flow, we have to be able to come to rest, to be able to break the flow, break the change, break that rote flow of, oh, I have to go do this. I have to pay my taxes. I have to go to the doctor. I have to blah, 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 blah. In order to break that, we have to be able to come to rest. We have to be able to stop the movement in that direction, come home to ourselves, find the peace and the quiet within, bring our energy to rest so that we can start to become aware of more options, greater possibilities, infinite possibilities are ours. We can literally choose any possibilities we want, but we have to match our energy in that flow. Health is just a choice. It's the ability to bring the energy into alignment, to bring your energy to rest so that your body can actually rejuvenate itself. Because when the body is constantly being pulled in one direction or another, worry, fear, doubt, it can't rest. and it has to respond to those thoughts. So as long as you're having these streams of thoughts and wrestling with these thoughts, your body is not at rest and you can't sleep. So the ability to learn how to bring yourself to rest is a major skill. If you can learn that skill, then you become master of your reality, because you can rest. You can live in a state of rest and relaxation always, because you're creating it. And when you're living in a state of rest and relaxation, your body simply heals itself. No pills required. Everything is energy. Healing is about managing your energy, bringing all of you, all parts of you, physical and non-physical, physical and energy, bringing all of it back into alignment so that you become master of your own molecules. You become master of your energy. And then you get to choose which energy flows you hop into: the flow of abundance, the flow of like-minded community, the flow of peace and ease and harmony, the flow of receiving messages from all around, from the trees, listening, being able to tap into the wisdom that all of the life forms on this planet have to share. And life becomes a whole different ball game. Life becomes magical. It becomes miraculous, harmonious, fun. But you have to be able to bring yourself to rest, to stop those flows of those highly charged energy flows, to be able to get out of the flow of those energies and back into the flow of being your best self. I hope this was helpful to you. If you found it helpful, please feel free to share. If you're watching on YouTube, remember to subscribe to my channel. If you are looking for some additional support or assistance, you can reach out at connectingyoutoyou.com. Until next week, enjoy the Christmas and all the holidays, whatever holidays you're celebrating. And if you don't celebrate a holiday, just celebrate a day in particular. Just celebrate the day that you are living in. Celebrate the now moment. Beautiful. Have a great week, everyone. Until next week, create for yourselves a great week. Bye for now.